Hi, this is Emmy Duerr. I did my presentation on William Eggleston. Um, this is just a general outline of his life. He was born in Memphis, Tennessee in 1939. He still currently lives there. He was educated at Vanderbilt for his undergrad and then came back to study visual arts at Delta State College and University of Mississippi. He is also experienced as a lecturer at Harvard University, and he traveled to basically every single United States state and most continents. He traveled to, in the bottom left, you can see a picture he took when he was in Kenya. And then the next one over is from England, the next over is from Italy, and the next over is from France. So you can see he kind of spent a lot of his time as a photographer traveling to other places. Here's just like an outline of the awards he won. I'd say the most notable in here is the Getty Images Lifetime Achievement Award, which is awarded to very, very limited people. It's a very elite, prestigious award. And then he also founded a artistic fund under his own name. Here's just a timeline of some interesting events I thought I should include in here. He was commissioned by Rolling Stone and by Coca-Cola and by a bunch of other major companies. He photographed the set of Annie. He also has some experience in theater. He played the Jerry Lee Lewis's father in Great Balls of Fire. And he also had 3 documentaries produced about his life. So I put those, the covers of those two of the 3 documentaries in the top right corner. Thought that was pretty cool. A general description of his work, he was one of the pioneers of color photography as a legitimate artistic medium. Most of his work is characterized by its plain, like, simplicity. He is said to see the complexity and beauty of the mundane world. So a lot of his pictures, as you can see below, are pretty typical, pretty normal, but they have like pops of color, considering he was one of the pioneers of color photography. So the first picture I chose to analyze does not have a title, but I thought it was really cool how he used point of view to just show the back of his subject, and it creates kind of a mysterious feel of the picture. And the way that her hair is done, it kind of creates leading lines that leads you straight to the subject. The second picture I chose to analyze is called En route to New Orleans. I thought it was really cool how the sunlight kind of goes through the cup and creates this colored shadow, and also how the shadow of the window frames the subject. You can see on the little lap board thing, I don't know what those are called, but the shadow of the window frames the cup. I mean, it's a pretty ordinary picture, but the way that he brings out the color and brings out the rules of composition, I thought was pretty impressive. Another picture I chose to analyze is called Car Wreck. I thought that he did a really good job of using leading lines, diagonal lines of the ramp and the bridge to bring your eyes straight to the subject right in the middle, which is the car crash, obviously. And he does a really good job of like capturing the emotions in the picture and kind of how chaotic it was, and also the color of all of the clothes of all the subjects just kind of leads you straight to the middle of the picture where the subject is. Yeah, and then the next one was also untitled, but it shows how Eggleston used time of day to emphasize the subject. The picture was obviously taken when the sun was setting, so towards dusk, and it makes the subject immediately stand out. I also thought the shadow cast on the wall was kind of interesting, and it's just another example of how Eggleston can make a simple, ordinary subject appear extraordinary. This picture is called Paris. I thought it was really cool because most of the picture is very monochromatic, but these weird shadows, these weird reflections, really pop because they're bright green, and that's kind of very characteristic of his work, is that he utilizes color to express his pictures. I think he did a good job of filling the frame and cutting out the part of the man who's being reflected. so it creates kind of a more rushed, like, snapshot of like an action kind of feel. This is one of Eggleston's most famous pictures. I'd say probably his most famous. If you were to look him up, this picture would probably be the first thing that you see. It's very typical and symbolic of his work, considering the subject is just like a light bulb. It's very bare, very normal, and the way that the wires lead to the middle brings your eye straight to the subject, and the color, obviously, of the room, the red color, shows how he used color photography, how he made color, made his simple subjects look not normal. Then the last picture I chose to analyze is also untitled, but it's not really super typical of Eggleston's work, but I thought this particular picture was very interesting to me because the staircase really seems like out of place. It seems like something that would be attached to a house or something, but it's on a cliff. So I thought that was really cool. And the way that you can't really see the way it's being supported creates sort of an optical illusion. You just like seems like the staircase is floating, very out of place, and I thought that was really cool. Kind of creates an illusion. So yeah, that's my presentation on William Eggleston. I hope it was informational. Yeah.